Welcome to the QCIS channel. We're on this channel to get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. My name is Leon Jones, and what I'm going to do today is show you how concrete tests are taken. I have a gentleman over here who's in it right now. Right now he's running the air, and he's going to be running the slump test in a moment. Again, is riding it just like you would do a vibrator to get the voice out. And what you saw there was concrete test, slump and air. Now the procedure is basically the same when you place the concrete in the slump cone and in the, I call it the air meter container. Now what you do with the air meter, you have to make sure that the air meter is clean first. And then what you do, you weigh the container. You're going to get a certain amount, probably about 8 pounds. And then you place concrete inside the air meter. Now, the procedure for placing concrete inside the air meter is 3 layers, 25 rods to get the voids out, 10 to 15 blows on the side to make sure that you don't have any voids. You do that 3 times, then you screed it off 2/3, usually with a plastic plate or a rod. Then you place the container, you place the meter actually on the container. That's where you're going to get your pressure. Now what you have to do, you have to open the petcocks to make sure that the petcocks don't have any stone. That was the reason why the technician took the drop, and that's the drop that you would use to clean a baby's nose. When you fill that dropper with water and you put it in the petcocks to see if there's going to be any water coming out of each side. If there's no water coming out of each side, that means it's clogged, and it could be small stone. But once he's completed that, then he's going to pump up the air meter to what we call an initial pressure. The initial pressure could be 3%. But he's going to do that after he closes all of the petcocks, because you have to make sure that the container is sealed from air. And basically, you're also going to take a little water, wipe the seal off before you even place the meter on the container. Let me back up a little bit. So, once the meter is set up, he's going to go ahead and set it up to the initial pressure, 3%. Pump it all the way up. And then take a mallet, tap it, and wherever the gauge lands, that's what your pressure is. Now for the slump, you do the same thing, except you don't tap it 10 to 15 times. You just 3 layers, 25 blows a piece. Now, when you are rodding your layers, whether you're utilizing a slump test or an air test, you want to make sure that you are penetrating your rod into the previous layer. And then, just like the air test, you screed it off, and then you wait 45 seconds. You're going to come straight up. You're going to tip the cone over to where you have the conic section on the bottom. You're going to use your rod and your tape, and you're going to measure to the center of where you took the slump test. And then you're going to get a reading. And generally you get your readings based off of the specifications. Now, to take you around the site and what they're doing more concrete paving. Now, what they're doing here is they're placing curb. Now, some curb is placed with a curb machine. I'm going to walk along this curb right here. This is what the curb looks like. This is what they're pouring. Now, Remember I told you about tining? All right, if you look down at the concrete, you look at those little lines, that's the tining right there. Tining is basically uniform. That's to create a rough surface so slippage doesn't occur. With concrete, you get a lot of slippage. And then as an inspector, I look for other things. Concrete placement. Checking the signage, which this one is kind of bowed and bent. They'll probably have to remove it. Check right out here at the intersection. It's live traffic. I'm actually at the intersection of Washington Street and White River Parkway West Drive. And just like yesterday, I'm just checking the site to make sure they got the right tools out here. Make sure that it's clean. Now, what I just showed you, this is the actual formwork with concrete that's been poured. This is what the curbing looks like after the forms have been removed. Now we're going down here and you're actually going to see a concrete operation. This right here is a dowel basket. This actually works similar to rebar. And that dowel basket probably got 4-inch rods in it. It's going to go right here. And what you are looking at is a full concrete patch. Now we're going down to the actual placement of concrete. Here's what's happening. Also, I'm checking the silt fence, and I'm also checking the formwork. This is what the formwork looks like prior to placing the concrete. I'm gonna get in here and get off to the side and just watch this concrete being placed. Remember what I said, safety is paramount when it comes to construction. Now you can see the concrete being poured. I'll show you what it's like when it's coming out of the chute. And back here they're finishing it. See how they're screening it off, the excess, with a trowel. And they're finishing it on this end. Here's what it looks like when it's finished. Now, after they finish it, as I walk up, you see all this white on the concrete? That's called curing compound. And then the formwork is removed. Formwork is right there. Now, some might be asking me, what are they pouring? For those of you who will be joining this video, once it's posted, they're posting a curb. And where am I? It's about downtown Indianapolis. See in the foreground is where the Colts played, Lucas Oil Stadium. Now also what I'm checking the silt fence to make sure that it's being placed right, or that it has been placed right. Remember I told you about your grade stakes, 3 foot O/S, offside. Back of walkway, F, 0.061, that means a fill, 0.61 feet. That's how you read the grade stakes. See, that's a trowel. That's what smooths the concrete out, finishes it. That's what this gentleman is doing. He's finishing it. It's already been placed, and they're now putting a finish on it. Make sure that it's smooth. This is what the concrete looks like unfinished. Right here, this is what the patches look like, the concrete patches. The ones that are bright white are concrete patches, once they're finished. Stake, 3 foot offset, then you have a C. I see cut 1.0. That means you're going to take out some backfill. Here's a sidewalk that's already been poured. DWS, it's a detectable warning surface. That's usually for your ADA ramps.
How y'all doing back here?
Make sure everything is free of trash prior to pouring.
I got it looking almost alright.
And the process is repeated until the job is finished. But tell me what you think. What you've seen on this construction operation was placement of concrete for a curb. You saw the slump and the air testing as part of quality control. I'm also looking at everything, and of course I am Leon Jones, the project manager / quality control manager for the city of Indianapolis, and I'm here to make sure that the operations are done correctly, and I want to make sure that the job is being placed, is being completed within plans and specifications. So that means placement of forms, safety, personnel are safe, sediment erosion control is placed safely and correctly. And again, thank you for viewing this content on concrete placing of a curb. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are looking for some political and social content, which I will be up tonight on my main channel, as I do every Wednesday, putting up some content on the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel. Now, here's where you can find me for both channels. For the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel, you can find me on YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Truth Social, and LinkedIn. And on this channel, the QCIS channel, you can find me on YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, and LinkedIn. And once again, thank you for listening and viewing this content of construction operations, concrete placement of a curb, and you've seen it right here on the QCIS channel. And on this channel, you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious day.
flip that shit for you real quick. You got water, right? Oh, that was fucking fun. That was damn near as fun as yesterday. Right? It was 27-foot line. Of that much fun. So same thing as yesterday. Two guys grab a screw gun, one in the front, one in the back, take all the fucking screws out.